Welcome everybody to Forza Motorsport drifting session. Now this is the first time I've ever drifted, so it is not going to be spectacular, but I do hope you enjoy it. Now talking about update 13, it is an immense update with plenty of new features like this one as you can see, and many other things that is not really being discussed very much, such as a new Forza race regulation system. Now this system determines when you go off track if you have gained time. Now it is not perfect, I have tested it out, it does seem to be okay. You do still seem to get the odd penalty where you go a pixel over the line and it gives you a 0.5 second penalty for being a pixel over, where the system is presuming that you have gained 0.5 seconds, but in retrospect it is a great start to see that they are now only trying to punish people for going over the line rather than being, for example, punted off the track and then you get an off-track violation for going off track. So by the looks of it, again, it is going to be more of a time-based scenario, and it does also tell you whether it's a penalty for large time gain, small time gain, or max time gain, so you get to understand what has been given to you. We do also have a new track, which is Sunset Peninsula. There are many different variants of the track, which is quite nice, and I have driven the track. It's quite a pretty old track, that one. Also we have Formula Drift cars. We have the Toyota Supra, the Mustang, and there's quite a few variants of the Mustang in different liveries. And there is the Dodge Viper SRT10 and a 240 SX by Nissan, which is brilliant. Another big feature update is the driver tire update, improving AI trailing ability, especially in braking zones, making AI less prone to rear-ending other cars. So hopefully now they're not going to be smashing each other's back doors in anymore. I didn't see too much of that, but let me know down in the comments below if you had a lot of those incidents. Sometimes when, for myself, going into a corner, I did get rear-ended once or twice because AI can semi-outbrake you to an extent depending on the situation on the corner you're going into. Other big news is the physics update in itself. Now with the physics update, they have reduced the downforce impact when following a car in front of you. So hopefully you don't get too much of a lift-off understeer, for example in the touring cars. Especially in the MG, you used to get a lot of lift-off, lift-off understeer if you're following a car up in front. Also, I have noticed as well that the drafting system doesn't seem to be as strong as it once was. So instead of getting like rubber banded straight past another car, you actually have to put a bit more work in it and plan a bit more ahead to be able to pass a car. So it's not as powerful as it once was. But if you've also noticed that or haven't noticed that, let me know down in the comments below. GT4 Spec Series has been removed from the spotlight rotation. I guess it wasn't popular, there wasn't enough cars, so I can understand the full removal of it. Let me know if you are happy or unhappy about that situation. Right, one update here that some may like and some may not like is the tyre wear changes. Tyre wear has been changed from 6 times to 4 times on all races. So for a short length race, I guess on certain cars, soft tyres could last a full stint of a short race, whereas medium and longer races, I think from what I've read and understand, hard tyre seems to be the new meta to go to because you're not having to pit. Certainly not as often as you once was with the lower tyre wear. It'd be interesting to see what the new meta kind of strategy is, whether you're still better off going on mediums and pitting once, or are you better off just running hard as long as you can and maybe sacrificing a last lap or last 2 laps if your tyres are on medium or minor wear. Adding on to the tyre wear situation, medium length races have been upped from 16 minutes to 18 minutes. So in many occasions that could be an extra lap or 2 depending on the track you are at, which will be very interesting to see because, you know, sometimes a hard tyre will last 11 laps and your last lap was compromised, adding an extra 2 minutes to the race, which means you have another lap further on compromised, would it be a better strategy if it's a short pit to jump in, put a set of softs on and hammer it around for a last 3 or 4 laps? It'd be very interesting to know. And let me know what you guys think about this update. I think the drifting, I am on control at the minute, it is very difficult on a wheel. I have fiddled around with the wheel settings and I can't seem to get a sweet spot with it. So right now I am drifting on a controller. It was a brilliant bit of fun. And it's so different because you're used to trying to keep the car under control and trying to keep the car behaving. Now you're forcing the car to be out of control and to have an absolute blast doing so. I gotta be honest, the physics on the drift cars is really good. I can't say enough on how well the car does like to kick out sideways and how easy on a controller it is to pretty much control that car throughout the slides. Although you do see me going off in the grass and cutting the lawn, that pit sign was annoying me, so I just wanted rid of it. That's my excuse right there. There have also been featured updates with the car audio. Some cars have had their audio changed, such as the Corvette C7. It sounds absolutely brilliant now, along with a few other changes here and there. Big note of changes is the changing car in feature multiplayer and private multiplayer crash has been fixed. They're calling it a soft lock. Apparently it has been fixed. They've also fixed another issue, I'm not too sure if you're aware, but I had it a lot, where I was in the replay trying to record the replay, and for example I turned off drivers' names or driver the HUD that came up on the screen, and it would just completely crash the game solid and I couldn't do nothing with it. It just made really terrible noises. So that's nice to know they've also fixed the things like that. There is a developer note here regarding car audio. I did forget about this one. Our goal is to ensure that any new cars added to Forza Motorsport are built authentically and uniquely. We are updating our authoring techniques and pipelines so that we can update as many of the most egregious car audio issues as possible. So some of the car audios, as you know, have been absolutely dreadful. Can't think of those cars off the top of my head right now, but let me know which ones they were down in the comments below. But it's good to know that they have acting or are acting upon the car audio itself. There is also a change in the BOP for the Cadillac. The DPI VR has had a 0.5% reduction of horsepower. The 2023 Cadillac Engineering has had reduced weight by 5%. The 2023 Cadillac Racing VR has also had reduced weight, and the Porsche 963 has had its horsepower reduced by 14%. That is a substantial amount of horsepower to bring down on a car. I understand a lot of people did say the Porsche was OP, so hopefully reducing the power of the Porsche and reducing the weight of the Caddy will bring them more in line together and hopefully improve the handling on the Caddy as well, because I did hear it was a little bit of a handful. If you'd like to see more drifting content, let me know down in the comments below and I'll get my practicing up, because as you can see I'm facing the wrong way at Maple Valley, which is not helpful to anybody. Thank you all for watching, see you all next time. Goodbye.